A length behind them was Taz. Transatlantic now pulling clear, asserting his superiority. Heavily back to Too Good. Transatlantic first.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 389, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. It's the official start of the Queensland Racing Carnival with Guineas Day at Eagle Farm. We'll also touch on the Archer Raceday at Rockhampton this Sunday. Shortly we'll preview our runners for both race days, but firstly, good morning Tony. Look, unfortunately, sad news earlier this week with Antino being retired from racing.
Yeah, good morning Matt, good morning everyone. Yeah, it was we had a great day on Saturday, 5 winners, and the news early on Sunday morning wasn't great. It was pretty apparent what the injury was. Heat and swelling to a right front tendon. You know, they normally are what they look like. So as soon as we inspected it, we knew what it was, had to confirm it Monday morning via scan, which is your normal procedure. And the decision to retire him was really easy off what we were seeing. So, you know, for me, yeah, it was a little bit disappointing, obviously with the Winter Carnival ahead of us, but I think, you know, I'd rather look at it in the way that just how much he did for us, did for the stable and everyone who got to work with him. He's a remarkable horse, you know, lovely animal to deal with, and he had, you know, extraordinary ability to be able to sustain such long runs, which is why his wins, his 2 Group 1 wins, will be so memorable for the way in which he won them. And there's several other wins throughout his, you know, CV that sort of outline exactly that with him. So, you know, I'd rather reflect on how good he was rather than worry about what might have been going forward. I think the horse has done a great job in his career, and now it's our job to recover him. Letitia will do that out at Embrook, and then we'll look at what a post-racing life looks like for him, because as we know with these horses, the journey in racing is only a small part of their actual life and what they can do. So he's going to be a great friend for someone, this horse, because he just loves that human connection.
And as you mentioned, Tony, it was a roller coaster couple of days. We did have plenty of success last Friday with the stable ticking over 5 Metro winners at Eagle Farm, including a couple of stakes winners in Pereille and Cronenberg. How do you think the team went around last Saturday?
Yeah, really well. It was a good day. I mean, last few weeks leading into that, a lot of placings and just a few things not going our way, and I just thought things really clicked. We got won that close photo in race 1, and it was probably the turning of the tide. It got us on the roll, and the horses raced well, the jockeys rode well, and it was a really pleasing day out. It was a good reward for everyone's work they do around here. It was, you know, the last few weeks had been a bit frustrating. I'm sure all the staff and everyone feels it, and you know, to bounce back right on the eve of our carnival with 5 winners is fantastic. So we head into this week in great form, and hopefully that form can continue on Saturday on what I think is going to be a pretty testing day.
Looking around, yes. And just before we get into our preview, we will announce the winner of our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a $200 voucher at the Crib Island Beach Club at the Brisbane Airport. Tony, the winner of this week's promotion, who is it?
John Lutz. Congrats, mate. You'll enjoy that. It'll be money well spent out there, and you'll get well looked after by Alex and his team. His award-winning team out there at the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. So
congratulations, John. Our representative from the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in touch with you with the details of that prize voucher. And now we will get stuck into our preview of our runners at Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail goes into the 5 metre position, out from the 3 metre position last week. The track is currently a soft 7 with a shower or 2 forecast for the remainder of the week. And as we look around this morning, it is pretty dull in the air. So, Tony, how do you think that track's going to play there on Saturday?
I think it's going to be wet, mate. I just don't know how wet. It depends on what we get on the day. I think it's hovering in that 7 range. I'll be surprised they went on there this morning. It wasn't heavy. So, my gut wants me to say it's going to be soft, because that's what I want. That's the track I want. Nothing worse than soft. But I am concerned that we could easily get into the heavy range this week. The weather's really cooled off. The mornings have gotten much cooler. We've had rain nearly every night this week. We've had some sort of moisture. So we had a good shower last night, and the forecast for tomorrow and Saturday doesn't look great. I'll work on soft to heavy, so it certainly worries me with quite a few of our runners.
First race we will preview is race 1, is the benchmark 70 handicap over 1,200 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Time of My Life. We'll carry 57.5 kilos with Tim Clark on board and drawn barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $16 for the win and $4.40 for the place. Super win last start with her all the way in front. Win over 1,200 metres, and she's drawn well here to get every chance, and Tim Clark rides those front runners really well.
Yeah, he does. She's a nice sharp mare, worries me the ground, soft. Doesn't worry me too much, but if we got into the heavy range, I'd be concerned. So I've chatted to John and the team there about her. Obviously, she's a sister to Winks. The female pedigree says no worries, but being by Vinny, you do concern. So I'm slightly concerned about her in the wet ground.
And the next one we'll preview is Zoufani. Will carry 57.5 kilos. CJ Graham on board and jump from barrier 1. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7 for the win, $2.50 for the place. She's racing consistently, gone close in her past 3 starts this prep, all at this same trip, and just beaten last start by the stablemate Time of My Life, but drawn well here, barrier 1.
I think Eagle Farm here, the low draw is important to her. I mean, busting for her to draw a good gate, we can just ride her where we like them in hand. And very fit mare. You saw last week on that testing track, those horses with that residual fitness was pretty important. I think that'll be the case here again on Saturday. Obviously, some of the races, quality will take care of itself on wet ground, but a mare like her in a race like this with that residual fitness under her belt, drawn low, going to get a lovely run. I think she's really hard to beat.
The next race we'll preview is race 3. It's a benchmark 78 handicap over 1,000 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those is Surprise Honey. Will carry 58 kilos. Tim Clark on board and jump from barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $5.50 for the win, $1.85 for the place. She was a super run first up. Coming home in 3rd place over this trip, but she just had a tough run running wide there, but certainly improved for that run.
Yeah, her run was really good. Fresh up, she always improves for a run, particularly after she had to do too much work in running. This is definitely the right race for her. Tim's the right jock for her. The ground worries me. Her soft and heavy track stats are not good, so she concerns me on testing ground.
The next runner we'll preview is Balance the Books. Will carry 54.5 kilos. Angela Jones on board and drawn barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.50 for the win, $1.50 for the place. She was somewhat disappointing first up over 1,000 metres. Stages at this trip, certainly won't mind the sting out of the ground and gets a nice light weight as well.
Yeah, I think wet ground will suit her. I don't know about heavy, but I think this race sets up well for a lot of speed and on a track where you'll be able to make ground. Obviously, we've had a bit of racing now at Eagle Farm the last few weeks, particularly on the wet track last week. I don't think it will be a disadvantage to be coming out to the centre in the straight. Obviously going to be a fair bit of wear on that inside part of the track, even though that rail has come out of touch. So, a lot of that inside will be quite worn. I think she presents pretty well here. I just don't know how wet she might like it and how wet this track might be, but she would go on top of my 2 here, so I don't think Surprise Honey likes it at all.
And the next race we'll preview is race 5. It is a 3-year-old quality handicap over 1,300 metres. We'll have the 3 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is He's True Blue. Will carry 52 kilos with Ben Thompson on board and jump from barrier 2. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $12 for the win, $3.50 for the place. Second up now after a strong finishing performance first up over a shorter trip. It rises in trip. Drawn well and gets in with a really nice weight here as well. I
think the rising trip's ideal for him. Just not sure what sort of ground he really likes coming from Europe. He didn't love the heavy ground over there, but it's different type of ground. His training's been awesome. I thought he worked well on the ground here Tuesday morning. The horse looks good and I'm really happy with him. He's done very well. I think the month between runs is no negative on him. Horse in good shape and can certainly run a race.
The second runner we'll preview is Power Reece. Will carry 52 kilos. Emily Lang on board and drawn barrier 3. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $23 for the win, $5.50 for the place. She kicks off her winter campaign first up for her preparation. She won over a mile last prep, so this is a good stepping stone to get out to that trip later in this preparation, and she's ticked over nicely with a couple of trials as well.
Yeah, I think the ground won't bother her first up. She's a fit sort of mare up on speed. She's first up, but she's in good order. Trials have been great. She's a lot better filly this prep than what she was last time. She built sort of into that type of filly last prep as we went along. I think this time she's just hit the ground running. She's a really nice filly. She's always going to be a nice filly, this, and I think it's a good kick-off point for her. I think she's well and truly over the odds. She'll roll up on top of the speed and then she'll keep on going. She's in good nick.
And the third of our runners we'll preview is State Opera. Will carry 52 kilos. CJ Graham on board and drawn barrier 11. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $46 for the win, $9 for the place. Another one who is first up and will enjoy getting out further, but she was an eye-catching winner last preparation over 1,400 at this track and coming off a good trial win at Deagon into this.
Yeah, surprisingly nice trial around Deagon because that sort of track wouldn't suit her, but she really hit the line well. Her work since been fantastic. She's a far better filly this time round. So much easier to manage and work with. I'm really happy with her. The draw doesn't worry me. We'll be back in the second half of the field anyway, switched off and there to run on. I just don't know about her on the ground, but she'll run because we're going to find out. But she is in good order. She's one of those fillies that come to hand quick in a prep. She's, although a lot stronger this time round, she's still very fit and ready to go to the races. So she's another one I think's well over the odds. I just have no clue how she's going to handle the wet ground. Yeah,
it might be hard to say, not knowing conditions, but can you put one on top?
I thought out of these, if I was Power Reece, I think will handle the conditions the best, and she's going to race 4 to the speed. So she probably goes on top of the good odds. So but all 3 of these 3-year-olds are quite nice horses for this grade, poking through that 3-year-old grade, underneath top company.
The next race we'll preview is race 6. It is the Listed Dalrello Stakes for the 2-year-olds over 1,000 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Itchintogo. We'll carry 57 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board and drawn barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8 for the win, $2.05 for the place. Is the winner of the Listed Feeling Ready last preparation, also the 2-year-old Gold Nugget over the summer. Ticked over with a nice trial last week to bring him on into this race. How do you think it sets up for him?
I think pretty well. He's a good fast horse, he's a sharp horse, he handles soft ground. He's on road to the Magic Millions race at the Gold Coast in 3 weeks' time. I think it's 3 or 4 weeks' time. Yeah, so that Friday night meeting down there, the horse is in great order. Look, he's going to do a lot of things right. He's going to roll up. Whatever's in front of him is going to be going too quick. He's a fast horse and will allow him to be quick even on the testing ground. I think he's going to take a bit of catching. I like this trial the other day. He trialled a little bit fresh mid-trial, but when they got to him, he was really good through the line. So I think he's ready to go. The horse looks fantastic. He's in a good place, and he'll be the one they'll be chasing.
And the second runner we'll preview, it is Boomtowns. Will carry 57 kilos with Tim Clark on board and drawn barrier 9. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $18 for the win, $3.30 for the place. He was a debut winner at this track and trip earlier this year in February for his only run of the preparation. Back for the winter, and he also trialled well last week as well.
Yeah, he trialled nice. You never know how much is in the tank with this horse. He's such a laid-back bloke as far as when you work him. He's a cheeky little bugger around the yard here, actually, but he's really come on from that trial last Tuesday. He looked well in the skin, but he's really picked up. He's dappled up now. I thought his work on Tuesday was typical of him. He just floats along beside his workmate. So he's drawn a bit awkward. He'll sort of be mid, I'd imagine, so try and find a midfield spot where he can tuck in and save a bit of ground. And then Timmy Clark will present him. He's a gun 2-year-old rider. He'll suit the horse, no doubt, and I think the horse is there to run well. He's just a very hard horse to get a read on at home.
Yes.
You always felt there's more to him. I even think when he won that day at Eagle Farm, there's always more to this horse. I don't think we've ever got nowhere near the bottom of him yet, but he'll be back giving him a start. I'm not sure about him in the ground. Soft ground's no problem, but if we get to we'll be a far more testing track than what this horse saw last time, that's for sure. So I think he can run really, really well. I think he's a very promising colt. But for me, I've got Itchintogo on top out of my 2.
And we'll move on to race 7. It is the Group 2 Queensland Guineas over 1,600 metres. We'll have Spanish Treasure in this race. A little friend behind us today enjoying his breakfast. Drawn barrier 11. We'll carry 57 kilos with Tim Clark on board. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7.50 for the win, $2.35 for the place. He was third in the Daybreak Lover last start over 1,400 metres, so steps up to the mile for the first time. Winkers go on as well, hopefully to just find that extra length or 2 to get him into the finish.
Yeah, I think they're a key gear change. I think where his drawn's good. I don't think the ground's a problem for him. I think he'll handle the ground. He worked lovely in it Tuesday morning, really, really nice here. And we had genuine soft to heavy ground here Tuesday. He bowled up really nice in it. Obviously got a hold of their head, stiff at race day. I like the booking of Tim Clark. He's been jumping well. I think we'll race a lot further forward. We'll either sit outside lead or be 1-1 outside of them. He's a horse that wants a bit of galloping room when it's time to go. We saw that when he won the maiden at the Magic Millions. He led from a wide draw and just give nothing else a chance. The mile is a little query. I've always felt he'd run it. He's very fit. He's third up now. He's obviously been peaking up for this run. I think if we can lob in the right position and the winkers can give us that length or 2 up our sleeve, he's going to be right in the finish. Great respect for the favourite. He won as it liked the other day, the horse of Chris Munters, and it's obviously very talented. But I do think this bloke will be a vastly improved horse this Saturday.
And the last race we will preview, it is race 8, the Group 2 Victory Stakes over 1,200 metres. We'll have up to 4 runners in this race. The first of those we'll preview is Transatlantic. We'll carry 58.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney on board and drawn barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $10 for the win, $3.10 for the place. He's a Group 1 winner over a mile. He's first up for this winter campaign with aspirations to head towards this Stradbroke. Will handle conditions, hasn't won first up, but it can certainly run a bold race.
Yeah, he's got a couple of things against him. He's never won first up, he's never won below 13.50. They're the things against him. The things in his favour is he's got a fantastic Eagle Farm record, and he's got a really good wet track record. Absolutely loves the wet. So the heavy track won't bother me if we get to heavy by this last race. He'll bowl. We'll make sure we're very close to them. We've got a nice draw. We're on a positive ride out. Put him in the first couple, first 4 or 5, even at 1200, and he'll quicken nicely at it. The first up record really worries me, but I do think the wet track really brings him into contention here. He's very fit. He's a very fit horse. He's certainly ready to kick his prep off. We've got a specific plan with him to try and get to the Stradbroke with him, and I certainly want to be seeing him running top 4 or 5 here, and I can't see why he can't. I think he can be a really improved horse, but that first up record always really worries me with him. We saw it at Flemington in the spring, but it was really good ground. We saw it at Rockhampton last year in the winter. The Archer, I gave him 3 trials to be ready for that, and I still couldn't win first up. So he is a bit of a trick first up, but he's in great shape, and he's a very good wet tracker.
The second runner we'll preview is Zarastro. Will carry 58.5 kilos with Angela Jones on board and drawn barrier 9. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $21 for the win and $5 for the place. He's first up for his winter campaign after a short break from the summertime. He's 5 out of 7 at this track and trip, and coming off a really good improved trial win last week.
Yeah, trial great. He's really back to his best. His action's great. He's moving well. He's on the polar scale of Transatlantic. He's terrible on the heavy. You know, the other horse wouldn't care if it was heavy by the last. This horse does not want any worse than probably a soft 6. He doesn't mind soft ground, but when you're sort of soft to heavy or into the heavy range, he just can't pick his feet up, and he's just nowhere near as comfortable a horse. So, look, I'd say the way I look at the weather now, and obviously we'll see how it transpires, he'd be probably unlikely. If he runs, he'll run really well. But he's more unlikely than likely.
And we'll just touch on it, Pereille as well. Drawn barrier 13, will carry 58.5 kilos with Martin Harley on board. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $31 for the win, $7 for the place. He's also first up for his winter campaign impress in his recent trials, but it is drawn tricky, barrier 13 out there.
Yeah, he's drawn awful. He's a really good wet tracker, and I'm sure he loves these big tracks like Eagle Farm, but look, hopefully there'll be other races in the carnival. It doesn't look good for him off a wide draw.
So just conditions-wise, as you mentioned, with
Condition-wise, is Transatlantic, and obviously got Hidden Wealth as well in the race at this point. We haven't scratched him yet either, but both him and Pereille be unlikely off wide draws. Both of them very effective on wet ground. From where they're drawn, the way this race shapes up, they're way better placed, we feel, probably next week, which we'll sort that out over the next 24 hours. Transatlantic, definitely for me. I think, you know, with this weather forecast, you want a tough horse at the end of 1200 in a race like this. There's a lot of sharp horses in this for sure, but he's the horse that can get out and win at a mile. So I think if any of them want to get tired and he starts to pick the bit up, he's going to really hit the line here. He definitely goes on top, and he could be one of my better each-way plays of the day.
And now we'll just quickly touch on our 2 runners in the $1 Million Archer at Rockhampton as well on Sunday. The race is over 1,300 metres with a field of 12 horses. We'll have the 2 runners in this race. The rail's in the 2 metre position. No track rating currently, but fine weather conditions up there. So we'll just touch on Rockribbed. He's drawn at barrier 10 of 12 after last night's barrier draw. We'll carry 57 kilos with Ryan Maloney on board. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $21 for the win and $6 for the place. He finished behind a few sharp ones in the Ascot Handicap first up, over 1,000, which is always the leading run we wanted him to have, and he's won the listed recognition over this trip when second up last prep as well.
Yeah, and that was probably the key, Matt, wasn't it, to give him that first up run, and 1,000 was unsuitable for him, particularly at that level. That was a good Ascot Handicap. Drew wide, had to go back, got a bit of junk kicked in his face, and et cetera, and he actually wanted to do more early, but we had to restrain him from a wide draw just from how that race was presenting from us. Had he drawn low, he would have been much closer in running. Second, we would get that fresh run out of the way for him to get ready for Rocky. The track conditions up there, it's going to be good. That track is firm. It's firm on wet days. It's a track that can handle rain. It's got a good solid base under it. It'll be quite a quick track. I'm absolutely sure of that up there on Sunday. So he'll roll forward from his draw. I think gate 10 for a go forward horse is fine. He'll put himself right up in the firing line. If he's not leading, he won't be far away. And he's certainly there to run well.
And the second runner we'll preview for this race is Boomtown Boss. Will carry 56.5 kilos with Andrew Jones on board. He has drawn barrier 5 out of the field of 12. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $11 for the win at $3.50 for the place. He's won 3 out of 4 when first up. He's trialled well leading into this. Only just missed last campaign in the Magic Millions Cup. Last up with a huge finish. How do you think it sets up for him first up?
I think it sets up pretty well. I look at the race and where we're drawn. I think it shapes really well for him. The key is him stepping well. I think he wants to find like a midfield position. Would want to be further back than probably third pair. That'd be a lovely spot for him. There looks to be enough pressure. Flicker, Rockribbed. You got Rothfire drawn the outside. I think their horses are going to have to go forward. One will boot up from a low draw, come across. And there's others there. So I think if we can be on the back of that speed somewhere from where we're drawn, sort of one off. There's no reason he can't present to the outside horse. He's not one that wants to be cluttered up. You got not a bad run to the first corner. Then you got plenty of room in the straight. And your job be to expose him, give him plenty of room without going for him, and let him build up and use his action. He's prepped up beautifully. He's the opposite to Rockribbed. He's a great horse fresh. He's not a big heavy horse. He comes to hand really well fresh. If you look at some of his fresh wins, they're his best wins. So I'd expect this horse to race really well. I think 1300 is ideal for him fresh up.
Positives for both, but can you split either
Rockribbed. Boomtown Boss. He's probably my best around the provincials for the weekend. This is actually a really good race. The form out of this race will be good. This is the deepest archer we've seen. It's fantastic. It's a great community up in Rockhampton, racing community. And it's fantastic for the town and the club up there, the amateurs, to attract such a good field. This is a good race, but Boomtown Boss definitely for me. I think he can run a hell of a race.
And now, Tony, we are into the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Tony, who's your best winning chance at Eagle Farm this Saturday?
I'm going to go nice and early, Zoufani.
Zoufani, yep, in the first.
Just busting for her to draw a good gate. She got first use of the track. I think she's mine.
And best each way chance for the weekend.
I'm going to throw 2 out. I'm going to break the rules today. I'm going to throw 2 out. Spanish Treasure.
Yes.
I think you can run each way in the Guineas, the Winkers and Wet Ground, and just ridden in a manner to produce the best on him. I think he can run top 3. And Itchintogo. I think Itchintogo in the Dalrello. He's adept on that sort of ground. He'll roll forward. He'll make his own luck. And we saw last week when the ground got quite testing, it was much better to have horses up making their own luck or close enough, rather than trying to chase in that sort of ground with the amount of kickback and stuff coming back off that track. So I think both those horses present in the manner in which I think the track will play.
And just around the grounds as well, we mentioned the Archer on Sunday at Rockhampton. We'll also possibly have a couple at the Gold Coast, Toowoomba on Saturday, and possibly Ipswich on Monday as well. So anything for the punters to follow at the provincials there?
Final Crusade. Give me my best of the weekend anywhere in Toowoomba.
Yeah.
Nice 2-year-old colt. Second in town by Boomtown. So if anyone likes Boomtowns in the Dalrello who can run a race, I think this horse in the maiden at Toowoomba with a positive ride. A tricky little place to go, but a positive ride. I think he's the right horse.
And as you mentioned earlier this week, we did have a few out on the course proper on Tuesday morning. They all look to work really well in those kind of conditions, but anything best in track work?
None better than Transatlantic and Pereille.
Yeah.
That was the best work, and he just bounced through it. Worked great. And Spanish Treasure, big improver. Worked in company out there on that course proper, big improver. And just the horse has really come on now since that last run, which is how we hopefully had his plan. His preparation planned. Both those 2 horses I thought were fantastic, or 3 horses were fantastic.
Very good. And now it is time to head over to Cab's Corner for this week, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. He was looking good last week, kicking off his first leg with Savagery Vibe, but unfortunately Daggers had to carry the weight of Cab in the saddle for the second leg, and it just proved too much for him. So let's head over to Cab's Corner for this week and see what he's got for the punters this week.
Welcome to Cavs Corner. No joy last week. Well done to the owners of Cronenberg, that $100 winner. There's a few shattered pro punters in that around. Knocked a few tipsters out. Anyway, this week we go back to Eagle Farm. We'll go Boomtowns, a place, into Spanish Treasure, a place. Good punting, guys.
So Tony, Cav has gone Boomtowns, a place, into Spanish Treasure, a place. So he's gone back to the place. It's still a pretty good value in there as well.
Yeah, well, if you like that multi, go Itchintogo, the place, in the Spanish Treasure, the place as well. I don't know what the price of that one is. That's my multi versus Cav's multi.
A 1v1 multi
on the weekend.
there.
Yeah, that's mine versus his. I think he was a bit unlucky last week. I'm not 100% sure Daggers loved that ground last week. I'm not saying he's absolute duffer in it, because he's not hopeless in it, but I just don't know if he loved that ground. So for those who have been bitten by Daggers twice, you know, first up and second up, don't drop off him. He's going to the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks with a set of blinkers on him. Tommy was adamant he wants something just to focus him up a little bit when the business end of the race goes on. He has worn him in the past. And when you get these tried horses, it's a bit of a suck and see as to what gear you have on them and what gear you don't. So, as you all know out there, we've got a good record with these sort of horses, and do not give up on Daggers if you've done your money on him last week, which a lot of people did. Don't give up on him. I think there's a lot more to come from him.
So Tony, a big preview as always, Queensland Guineas Day on Saturday and the Archer as well, the official kickoff of the Winter Carnival, but with an exciting couple of months ahead. As we've mentioned previously, the unofficials probably been kicking off the past couple of weeks, but exciting times ahead, and hopefully we can continue the momentum we built up last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the Carnival launch up at the Sky Deck there at the casino on Tuesday night. What an awesome spot. What a great view up there. It was beautiful, very, very well done by Racing Queensland and obviously the BRC and all the clubs involved in that launch. So this is the kick-off this Saturday. We're in good form from last Saturday. We've got to make sure we can continue it this week.
That's the plan. Good luck, punters. Cheers.